Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to be talking about something that I know a lot of you guys are not going to like, and that is the idea of Amy being killed in Heartland Season 14. But before we get into that, if you guys could please leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and help me reach the goal of 20,000 subscribers, I would really appreciate that. But with that out of the way, let's get into today's video. So a little disclaimer before I start, I am not in any way, shape, or form, nor do I claim to be affiliated with Heartland. I don't work for CBC, I don't know cast or crew. I've talked to cast of Heartland many times, but at the end of the day, I don't know anything that is going to happen in Heartland Season 14. So with that being said, nothing I say in this video is confirmed to be happening in Heartland Season 14. It is just my own opinions, ideas, and thoughts on what could make Season 14 of Heartland even better, more entertaining, and have a better storyline. So with that out of the way, let's jump into today's video. So, when you see the title and thumbnail of this video, I know what you're thinking. You're going to come onto this video and immediately dislike it. Especially when I said, let's talk about Amy being killed in Heartland Season 14. But hold on. If you saw my video yesterday, I explained in detail how the death of any main character in any movie, franchise, or TV show affects the show as a whole, affects the storyline. And I also explained in detail how the writers go about killing off a main character. So if you haven't seen that video, I definitely recommend you go check it out. I'll have it linked in the description as well as the end card of this video. But when you think of Heartland, who's the main character? Can you guess? 1, 2, 3. In a lot of people's heads, it is Amy. Now, Amy is not the main character to me, but I will, since we're talking about Amy and she is the main character, I will, just for the sake of this video, say that she is the main character of Heartland. Although I do not think so, we'll leave that for another video. So Amy's the main character. So of course, anything that happens to the main character in any movie or TV show, especially that's been on for as long as Heartland has, anything that happens to those characters has an effect on not only the show but the fans, because Heartland has been on for so long that anything that happens to Amy, you guys as fans, myself included, will sometimes feel, if Amy's sad, you'll feel sad. If Amy's angry, you'll feel angry. If Amy's depressed, you'll feel depressed. And that really speaks to the acting talent of Amber Marshall. And I've said many times that although Amy is not my favorite character, I do think that Amber Marshall has some of the best acting on the show. And that is simply because of the fact that when her character is hurting or feeling a certain way, she can accurately portray those emotions and then transfer them to the fans of the show, which is only something that a really good and talented and skilled actress can do, and Amber does that perfectly on multiple occasions. So how would her death affect the show? What if she was killed? Well, you're probably thinking, Hannah, why would you want that to happen? Well, the death of any character allows for the story to progress. It allows for new storylines. It allows for character development for the other characters. So, of course, if Amy was killed or died, you would have the storyline and the character development for Ty being a single father. How would he react to that mentally, emotionally, and physically? How would he adapt to becoming a single father? Would he need a lot of help from Jack, Georgie, Lou, Tim, etc. with, raising Lyndy? Then there's how would Lyndy react to her mom not being around anymore? Would she understand what happens if they do decide to go down the storyline and the idea of Amy being killed? Would she understand? How would she react to her mom not being there? How would that affect her growing up? And so on and so forth. So Amy's death, while it would be sad, would have a huge effect on their characters as well. But then you also have Jack, Tim, Lou, Georgie. How would her death affect those characters? Whenever something happens to a main character, it always trickles down to the supporting characters. It always affects them in some way, and that is the key to successful writing. It is pointless to have a death that serves no purpose. So, especially when it comes to a main character, because then fans will just be upset and be like, well, you killed the character off for no reason. So how would it affect their characters? That would allow the writers to explore, their emotions. As I said, how would Ty deal with it? How would Georgie deal with it? How would Jack deal with it? How would their family deal with it? Would Heartland as a business, Amy's horse whispering business, as people like to call it, how would that, would that fail? Would Georgie replace Amy? how would Ty continue his vet clinic if, what about Amy? They were a team. How is he gonna be a single father and still, provide a living for Lyndy? Then, of course, for Ty's character, you had the question of, will he date again? Will he end up in a relationship again? If so, who will it be? If he does end up in a relationship, how will Lyndy react? See, all of these things that I'm saying are possible storylines, which is something that is always in the back of a writer's head. They're always trying to come up with storylines that allow them to have more storylines, which is, like I said in yesterday's video, the key to successful writing and the key to successful TV shows. You can have the best acting in the world, but if you have the worst writing, the show's gonna fail. But you could have the worst acting in the world and the best writing, and the show will explode and take off and be the best show on TV. That's just how it works. Writing is super, super important, and I think a lot of people forget that. Then, of course, if you go down the path of, Amy being killed, who killed her? Why'd they kill her? Like, who is it? What relationship did they have with her? What is Ty gonna react like? What is he gonna do? Is he gonna try to get vengeance? Is he going to try to retaliate? Is he going to try to, find this person? Is he going to, like I said, want revenge? Is he going to need, professional, therapy help because of what happened? There's so many questions that is just coming to my mind for possible storylines, and that is something that writers and TV show writers and producers and directors are always thinking of. So yes, I know people don't want Amy to die. Amy is a fan favorite character. I know that. Trust me, I know that, because whenever I make this video, you guys all tell me to shut up and that nothing can happen to Amy because she's the main character. And I've seen so many comments being like, Hannah, if anything happens to Amy, I will literally stop watching. I have bad news for you, because the key to a successful storyline is a dramatic storyline. Why? Because you are always trying to get fans to come back and watch the episodes live, because people that sit down on Sunday night and watch Heartland live when it premieres on CBC, the number of people that watch it live is the sole thing that CBC as a network looks at to determine, should we have Heartland have a season 15, 16, 17, etc., etc. That is the number one thing. It really doesn't matter how many people download it on iTunes, how many people purchase it on Google Play, how many people watch it on Netflix or Up Faith and Family. That doesn't matter. What matters is the amount of people that sit down and watch it, when it comes on TV, watch all the advertisements and that kind of thing. That is what matters. So the key to have people return is to have a storyline where people are always left with questions. And the best way to do that is a dramatic storyline. So, for example, who killed Amy? Why'd they do it? Who's gonna find them? Is anyone gonna find them? What's gonna happen next? That's dramatic. Suspenseful and dramatic storylines regarding a main character are always good for viewership, and that is the number one thing writers are always thinking about when it comes to writing a storyline. So I know people don't want anything to happen to Amy, but would you rather something not happen to Amy, or would you rather Heartland to end after season 14? That is the question that you always need to ask yourself before you leave comments being like, nothing can happen to Amy or I'll stop watching. Is that really true? Let me know down in the comment section down below. If anything happened to Amy, would you actually, truthfully, 100% honest, stop watching the show? Let me know down in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any future videos along with season 14 updates, because I promise to keep you guys as up to date as possible on everything Heartland season 14 related. But with that being said, I'm gonna go. Goodbye.